Good day, students. Today we will discuss few questions about photosynthesis. I was going to start about a new cellular organelle, the endoplasmic reticulum. But prior to that, it is important that we discuss few questions on the photosynthesis, as we have already uh, finished the photosynthesis portion majorly. Like photorespiration and part is left, but majorly we have finished photosynthesis in our lecture. So it is important that we discuss few questions which are important for mainly for NEET and other entrance examination. So if you haven't watched those lecture series, I'll link it down in the description box. I've created a playlist on it, so you can go and have some knowledge on it, and then you can solve the questions obviously and clear your concept. Okay, so let's begin. Today we will discuss 15 questions altogether, and I will try to keep the video short with lesser explanations, because whatever explanation is needed is already given previously in our lecture series. So you can just watch the lectures and then answer these questions for better performance. Okay, so let's start. So our first question, which is very simple one, photosynthesis occurs in either chloroplast or Golgi body or endoplasmic reticulum. Sorry, there's a typing mistake. It's endoplasmic reticulum or nucleus. So the answer is obviously option number A, which is chloroplast. Okay, let's move on to question number 2. Now, reduction of NADP occurs probably and very much surely, like probably not, very much surely, in option number C, which is non-cyclic photophosphorylation. In non-cyclic photophosphorylation is one such process where there is reduction of NADP plus to NADPH. So the answer would be probably, like answer would be surely C. Okay, not probably. We can't answer anything in probability. It's about an examination, so the answer is seriously option number C. Let's move on to question number 3. The two pigment system theory of photosynthesis was proposed by Sir Emerson. Okay, so Sir Emerson gave that theory, that Emerson enhancement theory. I have taught you in lecture number 2 or 3, I guess. So enhancement effect is very much popular experiment in the case of photosynthesis. So Sir Emerson and Sir Charlton Lewis was also with him. They worked in conjugation to prepare this or discover this theory. So option number D is the correct answer. Okay, question number 4 says DCMU inhibits. So DCMU, you know what is DCMU? It is actually, let me tell you the full form first. It is a complicated name, so listen to it carefully. It is 3,4-dichlorophenyl 1,1-dimethylurea or diurone. So DCMU, what it does now, what it inhibits, it is a herbicide. Now first learn what it is. It is actually a herbicide, and when given to plants, you know what it does, it abolishes the oxygen, photosynthetic oxygen production by how, what it does, it actually competes for the site of photosynthesis where PS2, like PS2 electron, after excitement it has to bind with the electron transfers, and the electron binds with the plastoquinone. You remember, it binds with the plastoquinone in case of non-cyclic photophosphorylation. But what happens now, this DCMU, it has a similar structure and it competes with the plastoquinone for binding at PS2. So instead of plastoquinone, this DCMU binds and prevents the further photosynthesis process. So DCMU inhibits PS2, option number A. Now question number 5 is on that same Emerson enhancement effect. So Emerson enhancement effect and Redroff effect have been instrumental in the discovery of what? Can you answer? It is option number A, two photosystems operating simultaneously. We have already discussed this in question number 3 also, two pigment system theory of photosynthesis. So what does enhancement immersion effect says? It says that when two systems are working conjugately, their effect is very much high. Rather than two occurring at different wavelength, two occurring differently, they have a very low effect, and when they occur together their effect gets greater. Like two wavelengths occurring at are given together, their effect is greater than the sum of rays when they are given apart. So option number 1 is the correct answer. Option A, two photosystems operating simultaneously. So question number 6 says, in a chloroplast the highest number of photons are found in. So in the chloroplast the highest number of protons are found in option number A, which is the lumen of thylakoids. Because maximum number of protons are found there, because the protons were definitely the photosynthesis process, the cyclic or the non-cyclic part is taking place in the thylakoid only. So the photolysis of water occurs in the inner membrane of thylakoid. So whatever protons are generated, they revolve around that space and they are high in number in that place only. Okay. So option number A again is the correct answer. So today we are getting lot of options where option number A is only the correct answer. Now question number 7 says, light independent reaction occurs in. So read the question carefully. It is about light independent, which is the other name is, it is the dark reaction or the Kelvin cycle. So Kelvin cycle occurs in stromal matrix, that is option number D and not option number A. Like students in excitement, like we know they'll take up question number option number A, and the spelling is wrong, it is thylakoid lumen, MEN. So they will tick mark option number A, but no, it is not talking about light dependent reaction, it is talking about the light independent, which is Kelvin cycle, and it occurs in the stromal matrix. So option number D is the correct answer for question number 7. Now question number 8 says, phosphoglyceraldehyde as the first carbon fixation compound was discovered in photosynthesis of. So let me tell you first that this particular question is asked with reference to the Kelvin cycle process. We have a separate lecture on that thing, you can go and watch. So PGA is the first compound, and discovery of PGA and all related compounds of Kelvin cycle was studied by Sir Melvin Kelvin first in algae. So option number D is the correct answer. Okay, for question number 8. Now question number 9 says, cyclic photophosphorylation results in the formation of NADPH, NADPH plus ATP, or NADPH plus ATP plus oxygen, or only ATP. So the answer is ATP. In cyclic photophosphorylation, the only product which is formed is ATP. Okay, so the option is D. Question number 10 says, electrons from excited chlorophyll molecule of photosystem 2 are first accepted by. So for this you have to study the non-cyclic photophosphorylation chart. I have given a diagrammatic presentation in our slides also. It would be easy for you to memorize through that. Or not like memorize, remember. So you can go and watch that, and the option according to this question is option number C, sorry, it is quinone. Okay, plastoquinones or quinone. So quinone is the molecule which accepts the electrons from photosystem 2. Question number 11 says, optimal temperature for photosynthesis is very much option number C, I guess, is the correct answer, 11C. 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Yes, this is the correct, because this is the temperature at which the maximal enzymes required for photosynthesis works at its optimum condition. So 20 to 25 degrees Celsius is the general temperature or optimal temperature range for photosynthesis. Okay, so question number 12 says, electrons lost by PS2 are regained from. So electrons are lost from PS2. So where do these electrons come back through, as it is a total cyclic process, not like cyclic, they are talking about the non-cyclic photophosphorylation, but the electrons are continually lost from the chlorophyll and they have to be regained, so the process will continue. So this is done by H2O, actually the splitting of water during photosynthesis, or which is known as the photolysis of water, generates the protons and the electrons. So the electrons will be filled back to PS2 through H2O. So option C, or more correctly if you say photolysis of H2O is the correct answer for this question, 12C. Okay. Question number 13 says photosystem 1 performs independently in. So photosystem 1 performs independently in cyclic photophosphorylation only. In non-cyclic part we have PS2 in conjugation with PS1. So in cyclic process only we have PS1 performing independently. So option is B, that is cyclic photophosphorylation, is the correct answer. Chlorophyll A is found in all oxygen releasing photosynthetic forms, all plants except fungi, all higher plants that photosynthesize, all photosynthetic prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So option A would be the most correct answer out of these four, because it says that all oxygen releasing photosynthetic forms. So any form, not like we are not like we are not grouping it as higher plants or photosynthetic or prokaryotic, eukaryotic. It's like the photosynthetic forms which can photosynthesize all have chlorophyll A which release oxygen. Okay, so option A is the most correct answer among these four. And question number 15 is chlorophyll A molecule at its carbon atom 3 of the pyrrole ring 2. For this you have to read the chlorophyll structure. Please go and read it. If you have read it, then it would be easy for you to answer. So basically the question is saying कि chlorophyll A में जो थर्ड कार्बन होता है ना, मतलब सेकंड कार्बन में जो थर्ड कार्बन जो होता है सेकंड रिंग में, पायरल रिंग 4 रहते हैं ना, उसमें से जो 3 नंबर कार्बन रहते हैं इन द थर्ड कार्बन इन द पायरल रिंग 2, उसमें क्या ग्रुप रहता है अटैच्ड? सो इट इज़ एक्चुअली द methyl group, that is the CH3 group. This is the only basic difference between chlorophyll A and B. In chlorophyll A and B has more or less the similar structure. The only difference is here in this carbon atom 3 in pyrrole ring 2. In chlorophyll B we have the aldehyde group, and in chlorophyll A we have the methyl group. So the correct answer, chlorophyll A will have methyl group. Okay, so correct answer for 15 is B. So we have completed all the 15 questions, and sorry, all the answers are not mentioned in this slide, but I have already told you, so it would be easy for you to just note it down in your copy. Okay, so just go through these answers, and I have done my best in providing you the most correct answers. Even then, if you find anything wrong, please write down in the comment section so that we can clarify that particular question or point. And you can also follow us on our Instagram page, which has the ID Science Academia, and our Facebook ID is with our old name, which is Science Academy. So please don't get confused. You can follow us on both on Instagram and Facebook with all your queries and everything, whatever you require. And follow us and subscribe us on YouTube for all the lecture tutorials which we provide for getting contented with the information we have. If you like the video, please hit the like button and share it with your friends so that they can also get the information. Thank you so much. This is all for today.